Sony secretly been yearning for a larger TV. Last 3 sets have all been 42 to 43, and jumped at the chance to test out a 50 inches Sony 4K Smart TV. Instructions recommend 2 people for unpacking and assembly. It's doable on your own if you're reasonably fit and have a good grip, but really try to get a friend or family member to help. I didn't, and wall mounting was especially scary solo. It's a big object, not super heavy but unwieldy, especially when holding it in a way that won't damage the screen. Compared to our Samsung 7 Series 43 inches 4K, it's pretty big. Good size for the room. The feet are okay, push fit, simple assembly, but I felt it was overall a bit wobbly. I used the same wall mount as before, OmniMount OC80FM, and it worked well, albeit with some creative shimming. See pics. One thing that caught me off guard, but worked out okay, was that the HDMI ports are on the Sony's left side, as you view it, compared to right side on the Samsung. I expended much blood, sweat and tears self-installing wall ports a few years back and hiding wiring to reach the right side of the TV. And the cables only barely reach the new left side ports. All plugged in, and it powers on quickly from the long, and pleasingly hefty, remote. Dedicated YouTube, Netflix, Disney and Prime buttons are nice, we use all of those. Setup was done using an existing Google account. It streamlined the process, and I recommend setting one up in advance. If you already use Gmail, you're pretty much set. Very straightforward setup from that point. Follow some easy on-screen instructions. You can select favorite apps during setup, and we were pleased to see Crunchyroll and HBO Max, as well as Apple TV. Speaking of Apple TV, the Sony X85J 50-inch supports AirPlay 2, which worked great with my iPhone when viewing photos and videos taken on the phone. The menus and apps, software in general, run fast, being very responsive to the remote button presses. No lag, very nice indeed. We primarily use HomeKit and have no Google Home devices, so we didn't really test out that aspect of the TV. It can listen to voice requests etc., but, even on our 4K Apple TV with Siri Remote, we never use voice commands. Content is usually just a few button clicks away, and digital assistants are annoying, fickle. What we really wanted was a big, beautiful screen, and it delivers. Picture quality, in terms of vibrancy, brightness and contrast, is a big step up from the 7 Series Samsung. There are some very specific situations where some darker on-screen elements looked slightly sharper on the old TV, but that can be put down to greater pixel density. The overall image looks fantastic, and the Sony X85J gets way brighter whilst retaining detail and strong black levels. See the pics of Thor Ragnarok running on both TVs at once. Video games look gorgeous. I've got an Xbox One S, and a 360 with Kinect, and everything looks crisp, vibrant, just amazing. Sound is decent, but we have a Pioneer surround amp and big old Infinity speakers, so most testing is done through them. Audio pass-through and CEC has been flawless so far, less finicky than on the Samsung. The Sony X85J has an audio setup feature using the remote's mic and a pulsing audio tone to calibrate the speakers to your room, which is tuned differently based on whether you use the tabletop feed or walk mount. Very cool. If I'd spent my own money on this, I'd have no regrets. It's excellent, and I really can't fault it. Could the blacks be even darker? Sure, if it were an OLED panel costing twice the price. I'm not going to knock stars off for features belonging on higher-end units. At this price point, the Sony X85J is a 5-star TV that will immerse you in your games, shows and movies. I just took delivery of the 75-inch version this morning. Gamed on it a little bit just to test it out. Looks great and was super responsive in game mode. Variable refresh rate would be nice, I guess, but I don't think that most people will care. VRR is supposedly coming in an update later this year. We'll see. Blacks look great on this television. Click link in description for more reviews.